All right, so as you saw in the last video, the truck transmission is not doing so well. So this video is going to be a rambling discussion of what the game plan is. But first, I'm going to clean the screen. That's better. Yeah, the truck transmission, no bueno. And basically I'll just run you through the thought process behind my decision making, and then we'll go into that a little bit. So obviously I had a couple choices. One choice was rebuild the original transmission, so about $2,500. Another choice would have been just go ahead and start doing the Duramax. There's a cop over there, sneaky motherfucker. Start doing the Duramax, which would have required taking out a loan, taking the truck off the road for several months, and doing all that. The other option would have been put an NV in it and keep it 6.5 and make it a 6.5 5-speed. Issue there is now you got to go through all the work of making it a 5-speed. You got to do drive shafts, you got to find a 5-speed, you got to buy a clutch, you got to retune the truck to make it run with a manual. And then the other option, which is the one that I'm going to talk more about because it's what we're doing, was to just put a used auto in it. You just kind of pinch pennies that way. So a friend of mine has a truck, same as mine, crew cab, and he did a Cummins 5-speed in it a number of years ago. Prior to that, it was a small block and an automatic, and he is giving me that transmission. It's got 200,000 on it. It's stock, supposedly good, and a 4L80 from a gas truck, specifically a small block, is the same as a 6.5 or a big block or any of that. The difference is the converter. So I believe a big block and a 6.5 have the same converter, and a small block has a different converter. So I'm being given the transmission. I'm gonna put a new converter in it, which arrived today, and I'm just gonna kind of slap it together and fucking ship it. So the converter is from Quad Star Tuning. It's the optional high stall converter. Don't ask me anything about automatic transmissions because I know nothing about them. I don't know anything about how different stalls of converters work, and frankly I don't really care. I talked to John. I told him he knows the setup on the truck, and I basically told him tell me to buy what's going to be best, and he said you're running a bigger charger, so go with the high stall converter. So we did that showed up today. I also did ARP bolts and energy suspension mounts for the tranny, also from Quad Star. So thank you, John, for that. And then I have to do seals on the transmission, basically just front and rear seals on it, just because it's been sitting. We're gonna obviously do fluid and a filter, and then today I ordered a new larger cooler. Part of me wonders if the factory cooler that I have now, if it's not just plugged and whatnot, but I don't really feel like buying all the ATF and draining it and flushing it. And, I mean, let's face it, if the tranny had like 180 on it instead of 240, then I'd be a little bit more inclined to see what more I can get out of it, but I don't really care. So yeah, I ordered a cooler, hoses, fittings. I think that's it. So all said and done, it's going to be a used stock transmission, a brand new torque converter, new cooler, lines, fluid. So in theory, should be new, basically, minus the transmission itself. And basically the game plan there is try and do it for, $500 or $600 and, see if we can get, a year out of it, which will give me time to save money to do the Duramax and all that crap and whatnot. If the Duramax was farther along, I probably would have given more consideration to doing that instead, but it's not, so I didn't. So that's the status of the truck transmission. The torque converter showed up today. The bolts and the mount showed up yesterday. Today's Saturday, yesterday's Friday. So at this point, I'm just waiting on the order from Summit with the cooler and all the other crap, so that'll probably be here like Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And then at that point, it's just time to schedule to get it on the lift and take the transmission out, prep the new one, and go from there. So that's the status. I just wanted to kind of do this as a follow-up in case people had questions. All 11 people that watch the fucking videos these days. But anyway, that's all I got. So I'll see you guys in the next video.